Hey everybody, thanks for tuning in. This is Max from the Max Clark Show and the Clark Center for Civics, Politics, and Global Affairs. If you hear some chomping in the background, it's my puppies back there. They're eating right now. But while we're getting set up, do me a favor, hit the thumbs up button and hit the subscribe button, as well as the notification bell, so you can get updates on when I post new videos. And again, hit the thumbs up button because it helps the channel to grow. So I'm not going to keep you guys too long, but I know there's a lot of things going on in the news with the COVID-19, the coronavirus. And a lot of people don't understand. A lot of people are getting their news from, I guess, sources that are like fake news and things like that. And a lot of things that Donald Trump is saying or how the media is reporting it is getting a lot of people scared, or people don't understand how government works. So I'm just going to share with you a couple things about how things work. So maybe it can hopefully ease your mind and you can, double check me, to see if I'm, telling you the truth, because that's what we specialize here at the Max Clark Show and the Clark Center for Civics, Politics, and Global Affairs, and that's truth. Okay, so don't take my word for it. Don't believe a word that I say. Research for yourself. You certainly have time to do that, okay, while we're in this social distancing, self-quarantine, COVID-19 coronavirus program. While that's going on, you guys have plenty of time to research anything that I'm saying or anything that you're hearing, anything that you're hearing on the news or out here in social media. All right, so we're going to jump right into it. So I know there's news headlines saying that Donald Trump wants to open the country back up and people start going back to work, start, going out, carrying on as usual, back to business as usual. And the thing that a lot of people don't understand is that Donald Trump has no control over that. That's not his thing. This is not a federal shutdown. Again, this is not a federal shutdown. So when Trump comes out there and has a press conference, he's just talking. He's just talking. He's, he doesn't have any power over that. So what you need to do, you need to talk to your mayors and your governors about that, because that's where the power lies. The power lies in the states. And we don't understand how states work and how powerful the states are. So I'm just going to run a few things down to you so you can understand this a little better. And maybe you can share it with your friends and family. We have time to do it. So what are states? What are states? Okay. Are states independent nations, or are they just areas of land with, lines drawn around them on the map? Good question, right? Well, a state is is a geopolitical land or unit that has sovereignty, which means, the authority to govern itself. So places like Mexico and China, they're states as well, but Illinois, Georgia, Pennsylvania, those are states as well. But the difference between Illinois, Georgia, and Pennsylvania and Mexico and China is that they have complete authority inside of their borders. Okay. Just like all sovereign nations, really sovereign nations they have that power. So the state of Illinois doesn't have, they have a certain amount of sovereignty, but not all sovereignty, because we rely on the federal government, right? So like Mexico and China, they do what they want to do. Excuse me, they do what they want to do. they're sovereign. They have the power to govern themselves without, any interference. The states within that particular nation. Okay. So just to put a little historical context on that, like Georgia and Pennsylvania, they could have had the same sovereignty as China and Mexico, but they chose not to. Now we're going back to the original colonies. Okay. So after they won independence from Great Britain, and basically they became a group of sovereign nations. Okay. At first they became a group of sovereign nations. And what happened was they ended up giving some of that authority away by agreeing to a little contract that we know today as the United States Constitution. And this is how we're sovereign but not sovereign. So it dates all the way back. It dates all the way back to that time. So the Constitution, a lot of us aren't clear on what that is. We really just regurgitate a lot of things that are said in the media or something that we hear from somebody else. And, we're screaming the First and Second Amendment, but we don't really understand how the Constitution works and the power or lack of power that the Constitution has.